When you start filling out your paperwork, and I'll put the targets on.
These are 44 pair though.
So it's a little bit difficult to get this rifle in full view because it's got like a 24-inch barrel on it, I think. But this is a tube-fed action, pump action, 22 long rifle, short or long. This is akin to late 1950s, early 1960s Sears guns. And from what I read, these are actually extremely well-made guns. They would have originally come with a scope on them, I think a J.C. Higgins scope. This is your action release button here, and then the action slides back and forth. Let me put my camera on a tripod so I can show you what it does. So again, to release the action, just like a pump action shotgun, push this little tab behind the trigger. Very short stroke. It has a cross bolt safety down here in the trigger guard. Works fairly well, just like anything else. Standard buckhorn rear sight and kind of a barleycorn front sight. I think someone painted this one white, but just a nice little 22 long rifle, or 22 short long and long rifle. So I did an initial video on this gun about a year ago. This is a Sears Model 35, which was made by High Standard. And I had been looking for a gallery style 22 rifle, something like the Henry gallery rifle or a Rossi gallery rifle. But this particular one was quite a bit less expensive than a Henry when I bought it, and it was much better quality than the Rossi. So I ended up buying this one, and I do like old Sears and department store guns as well, especially Sears, because I'm also into vintage Sears garden tractors, but this particular one just struck my fancy. It's not really a fancy looking rifle. It's kind of plain Jane. There's no crazy checkering or anything on it, but it's a pretty well built rifle. Again, as far as I can tell, these have been manufactured by High Standard, and High Standard was a well-known company to have good quality guns back in the day. So let's just look at some shooting videos with this rifle. Now, in the very first magazine I shot with this gun on this particular range trip, I did have a few misfeeds where the rounds like doubled up in the chamber. I think it was just me short stroking it or not quite having confidence in the rifle yet that caused those issues. With the subsequent magazines full of ammo, I had much better luck with this. And, you know, anybody that's ever shot a pump action shotgun or a lot of BB guns, I think back in the day you had some BB guns that had sliding actions as well. But this is just one of those rifles that it is such a joy to take out to the range and shoot. I mean, it's reminiscent of old fairgrounds where you go out there and you shoot the targets with these. I'm unfortunately not old enough to actually have gone to those where they had real firearms. Most of the time back in the day, they would have used like 22 shorts or even smaller rounds. I think they called it like a Flaubert or something like that. I'm, again, not old enough to remember those days, but I do see them in videos a lot where people go out to the old fairgrounds and you have the old army guy that goes up and shoots the targets and wins the prize for his girl, things like that. So this really has a nostalgic place in my heart, and it is tons of fun to take out to the range and shoot. I had some pretty good accuracy with this thing. I had a 6-inch target set up at 50 yards, and just doing some slow fire shooting off of a bench rest, you can see here how the accuracy wasn't too bad. I had a couple of rounds that were high, but this is using buckhorn sights and a huge front barleycorn sight to hit those, and it really worked out pretty well. So again, this is a Sears Model 35. This is a probably late 1950s, early 1960s gun, and it was rated for 22 short, long, and long rifle. And this was just a fun, short little range video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless America. Support your 2A rights. Get out there and shoot. And you remember, someone asks you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good. Remind them that freedom is always the greater good.